Welcome tonight to the Sprunk Xtreme 1 Cup. Tonight we're at the La Mesa track, which is another one of the Hotring circuits using the all-new Hotring Saber. We're in for another exciting race as we see AgentRanger, Juxry, RPM vertical axing geezer. Juxry currently is the points leader in Sprunk Xtreme, and he's going to be looking tonight to defend his title against the likes of RPM and Agent. So we'll take a quick parade lap, and we're going to discuss things as we go in. As usual, don't forget to like and to subscribe to the channel. We'll do 2 plays. It'll be on twitch.com/VIPPrimo. It'll also be on youtube.com/VIPPrimo for constant viewing at any time you'd like. There's also a playlist involved that will be at the end of this event, so you can see it. And again, we're looking for an exciting race, and for those of you that want to be involved in it, let us know. And we already have a crash, and there they go. So we're going to jump up to RPM, who is, as always, the consummate competitor. I know some guys out there that have missed tonight, and they're going to watch the video now and be a little bit upset that they missed this one. This is a really fast track. Again, with these races, it doesn't take a lot of skill or even an upgraded car to do these races because they're so evenly matched, which is so awesome about this classic car. Rockstar just made the Vespucci job the other day, and between the Hotring races and the Vespucci job, I have to say that they have done an exceptional job at giving us content that is just great to watch. And we have a little bit of a slowdown there as RPM pulls into the first, or is it just full speed there? A little bit of dodging going on. Thankfully, we got a big track here to play around with. This is the first one for Sprunk Xtreme. They actually have jumps involved in it, so we're going to see how that works out. But like I said, with the Vespucci job, we got to play a lot of that the other day, and I have to say, being able to finally take the Issy Custom, a little bit of bumping. You hear some apologizing going around from Juxry. But being able to upgrade your cars like this and in the Vespucci job makes it so much better. The only suggestion I'm going to make, and I hate railroading into our race to say this, but I have to say it, is that there needs to be some sort of police update that goes into GTA down the road so that we can actually have tuned police cars and have some more, cops and robbers style events like Vespucci is. So, but in the same respect, again, Hotring is great. We're going to see a big, I'm guessing here we're going to see a lot of trading off between these top 3 guys here, as they are easily our top 3 competitors. So we got to give a warning to RPM real quick. So we see RPM going over on the edge there, and when we do, we have to give warnings because there's no curb boosting when it comes to this, and it makes everything nice and even. And I mean, with the way they're driving fast, there's really no reason to even need the use of those outside lines. It's funny that you see this track right here from where it's at, and you see things as being so wide open. It seems like a ton of space, but when it comes to the actual track, when you're looking down range, it really is a very tight track for them to go back and forth on. And again, this is some hot and heavy racing right here between 3 guys who know what they're doing. And Juxry is taking some creative lines. I really wanted to see how they would, and he lost it and missed his green spot. He's pulling it back. The other thing is I've been sick this week, so I'm trying to keep up with things here. And still give you guys obviously a great show. And I mean, this really is, it's easy because the best show here is created by the drivers themselves. And it is just amazing to watch these guys race and pull it out. So let's see what we got here. We got Vortical and Geezer in the back here. I'm going to see where they're at. These guys are trading paint up front and keeping the... Oh, so they got some space back there. I'm wondering if Geezer had any problems. Maybe that was it. Geezer is right behind Vortical, but he needs to get in with a little bit of sleep. Does catching up here. Vortical's out having some outlines there. I'm thinking the Geezer is going to get this back. So we're going to jump right back to AgentRanger as I figure out which buttons to press so we can get back to them. And RPM is now in third. Juxry is taking a little distance here. I'm sure if RPM and Agent get together, they shouldn't have any problems catching up with Juxry. Juxry, for some reason, always seems to have a little bit faster car. And we're like thousandths of a second faster, but he's able to take that line and run with it. And he makes great use of that car. And Juxry is currently our points leader. And mostly the reason that is because he's been consistent coming to every race. A lot of times you'll see guys that are top 3, top 5 players that are just consistently racing. And when they consistently race, they always do really well in the point standings. And as we see with Juxry here. Now, the question is RPM and Agent going to be friends here? Or are they going to play competitive? RPM is a very competitive player, but I don't think he's stupid either. So I think that he's going to try to get some sort of play here to allow him to get caught up. As you see, there's a little sneaky move there. That is a sort of curb boost. He's going to get a little bit of leverage off that turn by touching that inside line. Not something abrasive. We're not going to cut him too much from that. The other thing that we were discussing today, and especially going to see later on in the week, is the Super GT. We have the Fukara Super GT as Agent takes second, and RPM tries to move his way back up into second. In the Super GT, one thing that we want to see from Rockstar, and I'm just going to put it out there to hope at some point they might actually watch this video and get an idea from it, is if you've seen the Blanc Pain series this weekend, we'll be doing a version of that called the Pendulum GT. For the company, the clock company Pendulum in the GTA environment, and the Blanc Pain series uses a similar to the way we do now in the sports cars, and has a really competitive racing class with it. And one thing we don't have is a style of cognoscenti in the sports class, and I kind of found that a little bit depressing, because I would really like to see something from Cognoscenti. We now have an Ubermacht that's in the sports class, which is fairly competitive, and I'm hoping at some point to see that in the Super GT. Which these are cars that usually, that's the beauty of the Super GT stuff, is cars that are normally not competitive in other classes, where people can say, hey, I can't use those cars, can bring it into that series. We've seen a lot of guys use the Alpha and similar cars to be competitive. And unlike this one, where everything is completely fair and there's nothing to complain about at all with the hot rings. Bumping. Oh! RPM hit the wall. So RPM, I'm seriously in shock. RPM hit the inside line there. And let's go back to him real quick. I guess he got choked into that outside wall there and ended up hitting the uprights. So RPM is catching up. We're going to go back to, let's see where Juxry is, because I can hear him saying he's catching up. All he's got to do is pick up RPM after that accident. And he's got a lot of distance to make up there. And it looks like he's had some wall contact. And that was just tight racing. They get into the wall like that. And it becomes very tough to do what they need to do. But it looks like RPM's doing a good job of catching up here. So let's stay on him for a second and see if he can make the distance up. From third to second. Some distance. And somebody else is off the track right now. I'm guessing that's Vortical, who's had some problems earlier in the race today, but was unable to make anything happen for this race again. And it's unfortunate. It's one of those things of where the competitive racing can be, a great thing. In the same respect, it can have its attrition. I think we've discussed that in the past. Is attrition is huge when it comes to these races because of the high output that it puts on a strain on both the cars and the racers. And after a while, you just get to the point of where, you'd be amazed at how much it takes its toll on you. So, especially 20 minutes. These racers haven't just actually done the race that you're viewing right now either. I know it may seem that way, but they've actually done other races or other things as they come into these. So these little endurance stretches can actually be a strain on them from when they've already been in a strain and competitively racing, especially with the Fucara Super GT, which, you get any type of distance racing where it's 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. So some little bit of check-in up front here, and that's, again, is RPM going to be able to catch up? These guys are slipstreaming each other up here. And that draft is going to slow them down as they start competing against each other. And Agent once again is taking first place. I was wondering how we're going to handle these jumps, which is something completely new for these the Hotring racers when it comes to the Sprunk Xtreme. And they've done a really great job with it, other than the first one. I believe it was Juxry that had a flip error early on. And that damage might be playing a key role in why he can't get up to speed right now. Hey, but regardless, he's going to end up, even with the position he's in, he'll get a fourth place finish. It'll give him a good position standing for just attendance alone. So that'll be good for him. And these are points style races, so every time they come into a race, they get points for it, and at the end of it, you get to declare a champion for everything that's going on. And again, Juxry is actually the leader in the point standings right now, and it's kind of easy to see why as he moves back into first position again. So we're going to jump up to Agent. So we're on 11 of 13 today for laps. These laps are about a minute and 30 apiece with the slipstream going on and bumping, rubbing to adjust, give or take, 2 minutes. Just kidding. Give or take the time that it takes, with slipstreaming and other things, a minute and 30 can be lower. So let's see what we got forward lap times right now. So we're going taking basically 9 seconds off of the time. RPM currently with the fastest lap at a 122.830. So obviously having the fastest lap as these two get into touch with each other. And how far back is RPM? Can we see him? Yep, there he is. And he gets, when you get with your own, sometimes you can build a little bit more speed. I don't know, and I think we've had this discussion in an earlier video that I'm not sure if Slipstream actually is a sort of speed boost anymore compared to the way it used to be. So we'll see how that kind of plays out, because again, RPM is able to catch up. And now we see as Juxry leading the pack again. He has a strong car with that slaughterhouse vehicle. One of my favorite liveries to boot. It's great to see this car come out and race. We got the E-Cola car with Agent. And a little bumping. Juxry is known very well for his bumping pass maneuvers. But today it looks like he's going to be the one that's going to be the object of a little bumping and passing. And that's the finish right up there. And a land on the bumper. Can't pull it together, and Juxry's going to take the win. RPM. And I'm sure we're going to jump over to Vortical, who is down for the count. Hopefully we'll be able to switch over to... Oh, no, Geezer is on a roof somewhere. And there's Vortical. So both these guys had an accidental run that didn't make it. So this is the finish, how it's going to come out tonight. Juxry, AgentRanger, RPM with a great fastest lap. And then Geezer and Vortical. Thank you for watching tonight. Remember, every Sundays we're going to be doing these at 10 p.m. So if you want to be involved in the race, we would love to have you. We'll see you soon.